In Star Wars Hyperspace stories, we follow Qui-Gon Jinn as he's meditating in space. But as Qui-Gon is meditating, he's interrupted by a young Obi-Wan Kenobi as they just received a distress call. Now the distress call came from an abandoned ship, and a young Obi-Wan is determined to board the ship as quickly as possible. But as Obi-Wan is in a hurry, Qui-Gon warns Obi-Wan about patience as there is strength in stillness and virtue in silence. The crew make their way to the ship's location, and upon reaching the ship, they're surprised to discover the ship is covered in rocks. But no matter, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan board the ship, determined to rendezvous with the remaining architects. As Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan rendezvous with the architects, they learn that one of the architects has gone missing as they were investigating the ship. The architects explain that as they were investigating, one of their friends, being Shanto, went a little ahead, but not too far away to where they couldn't see him. But as they were investigating, Shanto simply disappeared. The crew searched for Shanto for over an hour, but couldn't find them. That's when they called the Jedi. Qui-Gon tells the remaining architects to go take refuge as him and Obi-Wan go investigate, as both the Jedi can sense a disturbance in the Force. As the two Jedi are investigating, they're ambushed by an Oclatar. Now little is known about these Oclatars, as they appear to be some kind of cosmic monster with many eyes and tendrils, but one thing is for sure, these things are definitely deadly. Now as the Oclatars start to overwhelm the Jedi, Qui-Gon reaches out through the Force to let the creature know they mean them no harm. The Oclatar retreats, but Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon descend deeper in the tomb, sensing something a little more nefarious in the Force. As the two Jedi descend deeper into the tomb, Qui-Gon recalls his first visit to the holy city of Jedha. When Qui-Gon was just a Padawan, he visited the city with his master, which was none other than Count Dooku. Master Dooku and Qui-Gon came to Jedha as they were investigating the Brotherhood of the Ninth Door. Master Dooku and a young Qui-Gon go around the city collecting answers from some of Master Dooku's contacts. As the two Jedi sense they're being spied on, a young Qui-Gon rushes ahead in an attempt to grab the spy, but as he closes in on the spy disappears in thin air. Qui-Gon is stunned, but being a young Padawan, as you could imagine, Qui-Gon still has a lot to learn. With the help of Master Dooku's contacts, the two eventually find a tomb, and although they sense darkness within the tomb, the two Jedi valiantly press on. As Master Dooku and a young Qui-Gon investigate the tomb, they can sense they're being followed. Out of nowhere, Dooku's contact is attacked within the darkness. But before Qui-Gon could get to her, the mysterious figure that attacked her simply runs away. Qui-Gon asks Master Dooku if they should pursue the mysterious figure, but Dooku tells him no because the mysterious figure couldn't have learned anything anyway. Qui-Gon is confused as the guy was still a dark side user. But Master Dooku lets Qui-Gon know, don't chase the dark side, let the dark side come to you, as there's power in patience. Back in the present, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan continue to descend deeper into the tomb, believing they're getting closer to the architect, or at least what remains of him. As the two Jedi descend towards the bottom of the tomb, they discover the uniform of the missing archaeologist. But the two Jedi's problems are just starting because as they look up, they discover a whole army of Oclatars. The two Jedi retreat as if they had their hands full with just one Oclatar, they can only imagine the carnage 10 or 20 of them can inflict. As Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn retreat, they unfortunately reach a door that's blocking their path. As Qui-Gon Jinn proceeds to pick the lock on the door, he warns Obi-Wan to be patient as he recalls another story of his past. This was several years after they'd left the holy city of Jedha, and by this time, Qui-Gon Jinn had become a well-accomplished Jedi Knight in his own right. Qui-Gon Jinn recalls visiting the arboreal city of Mooch on the planet of Croatia. As Qui-Gon Jinn was investigating, he comes across a mysterious creature about to snatch a child. Qui-Gon Jinn engages the creature, but the creature is viciously strong. Using the Force, Qui-Gon is able to slam the creature into a wall, and the creature subsequently retreats. With the help of the child he just rescued, Qui-Gon Jinn goes around the city collecting clues of the creature's whereabouts. As night falls, Qui-Gon Jinn tracks the creature, but as Qui-Gon Jinn tracks the creature, he can sense the child following him. Qui-Gon Jinn tells the child to come out, and the two proceed to investigate the tomb together. Qui-Gon Jinn explains to the child that this tomb belongs to the Brotherhood of the Ninth Door. The reason he knows that is because Master Dooku was after an artifact of the Brotherhood of the Ninth Door so long ago on Jedha. As the two investigate the tomb, Qui-Gon Jinn encounters a dark side user that has been bound to a tree. Qui-Gon frees the dark side user, and he asks him if the creatures are the one that bound him. The dark side user says not exactly, but before he could elaborate, the group has trouble as it would appear the creatures they were tracking have found them. The dark side user lets them know they've woken up the Slovar Queen, and so the group arms themselves and they prepare to engage the creatures. As Qui-Gon Jinn and the dark side user engage the creatures, the youngling goes and hides. With the help of the Force and the assistance of the dark side user, these two manage to take out all the creatures that were pursuing them. As Qui-Gon Jinn goes to check on the youngling, the dark side user makes for the exit, but before leaving, he lets Qui-Gon Jinn know his name is Minakatsu. The youngling asks if Qui-Gon would pursue the dark side user, but Qui-Gon stated no. As a wise man once told him, be patient, the time will come. As Qui-Gon and the youngling leave the tunnel, they seal the tunnel to make sure the Slovars won't trouble anyone again. But back in the present, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon have trouble as something is closing in on them. Luckily, using the Force, the two manage to get the door open and they manage to enter the final tomb. Now, as they enter the tomb, they find a scroll, which just so happens to be the artifact that Master Dooku was after so long ago. But as Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan find the artifact, they're interrupted by none other than Minakatsu. Qui-Gon greets Minakatsu as it's been a long time since these two have seen each other, and then they proceed to engage in a duel. As the two duel, Qui-Gon is reinforced by his Padawan. Qui-Gon warns Minakatsu that only the Jedi can keep the artifact safe, but Minakatsu tells Qui-Gon they're being arrogant as the Jedi are too enamored with their self-worth to actually do what's necessary. As Minakatsu is about to be overwhelmed by Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon decides he wants to see what Minakatsu is talking about, so Qui-Gon lays down his arms. Obi-Wan is confused, but nevertheless, he abides by what his master tells him to do. As they let the dark side user pass, Minakatsu takes the scroll and then proceeds to destroy it. Minakatsu goes on to tell them how he's one of the few remaining Brotherhood of the Ninth Door. Minakatsu explains that unlike the Jedi, the Brotherhood does not see the distinction between the light side and the dark side of the Force. To them, it's all just the Force, and they use it as such. Minakatsu's final vow was to destroy the artifact to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. And the funny thing about that is, in this case, the wrong hands would have been a Sith as well as a Jedi. Qui-Gon Jinn saw that and let Minakatsu destroy the scroll. Minakatsu would go on to disappear, and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan would go on to seal the tomb to make it safe for the architects. Qui-Gon Jinn lets the architects know that their friend Shanto has most likely become one with the Force. Nevertheless, the tomb is now secured for the architects to continue their investigation, while Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn are free to ride off into the stars. The end. Thank you for watching.